Woof! Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday at Two Dogs Digs. And today, we're going to chat about what's sold this spring. And thank you, the show is now over. Nothing sold. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Some stuff sold. Not a lot, but some stuff did sell. So we're going to take you through that today. We're going to... Rick is going to be joining us shortly in the basement as soon as he gets the computer working properly. And we're going to show you some stuff that we found, a couple of little things we found recently, chat about just stuff in general. And unfortunately, I don't have a song again. And I'll explain to you, I don't have a song because I got stuck sitting downstairs before the show because Some Like It Hot came on. And sorry, it's just like, as soon as there's some movies that you get, you just, and on Turner Classic Movies, Some Like It Hot came on, and basically Rick and I were sitting there, and then all of a sudden went, oh, the show. We're watching Geraldine and Daphne sing with Marilyn Monroe. So...
Josephine
and Daphne. Sorry, yeah, that's right. Big hello to everybody. Thanks for joining us here. We got Tina. We got Susan. We got Kendra. We got Julie and Nellie. Staying until the power goes out. Was it storming in Illinois? Janet, Louette, Jennifer. Just I might say a name once or twice. If I do, sorry. Michael, Marianne. Mr. Greg, hello. Lisa, hello. Let's see. Andrew, Dawn, Paul, hello. Dawn, yeah. Me. Charmaine, hi. Heather and Bob. I'm trying to see if I can cut her. Sharon, thanks for popping in to see us on Tuesday. Yeah, so we've been doing a bunch of stuff, and I hope everybody saw our little post in the craft group. We just want to make sure we're wishing everybody here a big happy Pride Month, celebrating Pride. Obviously, this is obviously Pride between us. We're proud of the craft group as well, but we're Pride ourselves. Emboldened, we are Pride. We actually got married.
We're married?
22 years ago. 22 years ago on Pride weekend. So we'll be celebrating our 22nd anniversary in about 3 or 4 weeks.
The 26th of June.
We don't know the date. This is always the thing. We cannot for the life of us figure out what day is our anniversary. We can figure out our meeting anniversary. That was December 29th.
Sometimes.
Except he was too drunk. So he doesn't rember meeting.
I don't drink anymore.
Meet again until New Year's Eve. And then from
New
Year's Eve... I do
not drink anymore, honey.
No. From New Year's Eve on, we basically were together for 3 or 4 months. And we moved in together. And now 30...
Can't get rid of him.
37 years. But our wedding was either on the 26th or the 27th. And the problem is, we're two guys. And ladies who are out there, you will know, the men in your life don't remember dates really well. And one of the reasons, we talk about this all the time, one of the reasons we have a really bad thing about this, oh look, I never remember our anniversary. That's good, thank you, Heather. Look at, I know, I'm not sure where that is. We do have it somewhere. And he is the bride. He's the bride, because at that point, they didn't know what else to call him. Correct me.
Well, no, the paperwork hasn't been changed. We basically...
Congratulations. Nellie just celebrated 50 years and Janet 33 years. Yay!
Congratulations.
Wow. Susan 43. See, there's not a lot of people that can make it this long, but yay. So you checked? Bob remembered you did not. Well, see, this is part of the reason that we're having a problem is because we don't normally... Well, okay, years ago, one of us, I don't know who, 1 year Luette and her husband both forgot their anniversary. Well, that's good. Well, the reason that we don't know and we have to check every single year is because over a number of years, we had the right and the wrong dates. So,
You can't rely on Facebook to say, hey, it's your X number
yes,
anniversary.
we posted on Facebook. And so Facebook would pop up and say, like, 12 years ago today, this was you. And like, because it was 2003, 12 years ago, 14 years ago today. But sometimes they showed up on the 26th and sometimes they showed up on the 27th. I think once it even showed up on the 28th. And so pretty well every year we have to go to the wedding box, which is this box that it's When Pigs Fly wedding box that basically has a copy of the newspaper ad, because there was a newspaper story on us. And we've told this before as well. There was a newspaper story because it was Pride weekend. So we were married on Pride weekend, and they actually were there filming us. My mom was on TV. We were on the front page of the Toronto Star. And actually, we've told people this before, very strangely hilarious. If you searched same-sex marriage on Google Images in the year 2003, our wedding picture would come up in Germany. Just in Germany. I think it was nowhere else, but yeah, I know that is absolutely ridiculous. And we actually had a couple of ridiculouses where we had people who decided that they were going to say on our Pride post in the craft group that it was either funny, or it was, what's that say? That says the 27th. Oh, good. I thought it was the 29th. We were going to be wrong all these years?
No, June 27th.
Oh, he found it. June 27th. Okay,
2003.
So we'll get it right this year. But some people actually put a laughing emoji on our craft post, and one person actually put a mad emoji on our craft post. Guess who's no longer in craft? Those people. Anyway, we're here to just have fun and celebrate everything, but also celebrate a little bit of sales. And because everybody's dealing with this, and I think all you guys are dealing with this in Canada to a large degree, and I think that sales we're back at that time of year that everybody hates, which is May, June, July, which are usually pretty darn slow to begin with. So on top of that, yeah, it was like, hello, goodbye. So we thought, well, we have to do 3 months of these. Hey, thanks, Charmaine. That was the fish or Cookie Monster? Cookie. So we even had our store on hold, like our Etsy and our eBay stores off for about 3 weeks, and popped them back on again after 3 weeks in May because we just didn't know what the heck was happening, and we still don't know what's happening. So that's the thing that is absolutely crazy, is we still have no idea what the hell is going to happen, what's going to change day by day between the U.S. tariffs and the China thing and Canada Post going on strike. So we've actually been selling. Well, Kendra, this is the thing that's interesting. We've actually been selling. We opened our store back up a week and a half ago, and we've sold
shocked the hell out of me because I didn't remember the conversation we had where
we had a conversation. We had a conversation at dinner. I mentioned this in our Tuesday hall pass. Every other Tuesday when we're not here live, we do a Kennel Club show. And I mentioned this in our Kennel Club show where Rick and I went to dinner. And at dinner, we had a discussion. And the discussion was about opening up our stores again. And I had a discussion with him, the gentleman to my left.
Huh? What?
Not that way. That's basically the way you were facing.
Well, no, on my screen, I'm facing you this way.
No, you're facing the wrong way. I'm talking to you this way.
No,
Look
but
the other way. Look the other way.
It's weird because on the...
Look at me. Look at me. Don't speak.
Is that better?
Yes. Now we can do Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia. Here I go again.
Oh, okay. No, on my camera.
I know you're supposed to do the Mamma Mia heads.
No, this is too confused.
Or Vogue. I don't care. Do something.
Inside StreamYard, when I look this way and I'm facing the shelf, it's to my left, and your picture on my screen is to my left.
To the left, to the left.
But when I
Everything you
look
own
at the
in a box to
YouTube
the
feed,
left. Actually, pretty well everything you own could fit in a box to the left.
Yeah.
Everything I would own would need like 18 U-Hauls to the right. It's
let me see. I'm
it's
going
like
to turn off
Alfred Hitchcock.
mirroring.
Are you saying I have Alfred Hitchcock head? Well, goodbye.
There, that works now, doesn't it?
Oh, no, I know, but I thought she meant like that giant round thing with the, yeah. So I took it the wrong way. Pretend you're in the Brady Bunch boxes. We need more boxes. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, okay, sorry. So what was I talking about? So Andrew says, I haven't listed anything in a couple of weeks, sorting. In the meantime, what you need to do, not listing absolutely obliterates your sales. Well, and again, this was a surprise. After the dinner that we said, okay, this is what we're doing, then he completely forgot. And the next day, cha-ching, 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 Etsy, cha-ching. And he goes, what's happening? I said, the stores are open. He goes, what do you mean the stores are open?
We haven't delisted any of the made in China stuff yet.
He had sorted the made in China stuff, but he hadn't delisted it. So he ended up spending 3 hours delisting. How about 3 hours delisting China stuff?
Yeah, I wiped out like 400 listings.
Yeah. So we went from over 700 listings down to
we're at 396
right now. 360, I think.
396.
And what we're doing is we're going to be moving those over to .ca or moving them into our antique booth or things along those lines. So we had that. So that was like, but we had sales. And so for those of you who may actually be going, oh, I better keep my store on hold. And then my recommendation now would be to reopen it because we know a number of people are still doing well with sales. And we've sold all sorts of different things. I'm going to show you some of the stuff we sold. And I don't know, Rick, if you can get an image of that thing that you sold, for the ballerina, or where you put it on the two dogs thing.
Which thing?
The ballerina thing that we mailed with that ballerina.
Oh, okay.
Or the Gerber thing.
No, they're on my computer upstairs.
Okay. Elisa sold a haunted baby. Yay!
A non-haunted.
Nin-haunted baby. You've had sales. You're just downsizing what you've got. Yeah, you've had a lot of things. Lisa had a no sales for a week after reopening on either platform. And you don't sell made in China stuff. Well, unfortunately, we have a lot of made in China stuff because a lot of stuff that we have are toys and things like that. Charmaine and Brian took a week off from posting, took last week off. But you do still a lot more on Facebook. So we're trying to add some of those things, but we ended up getting sales. So I'm quite happy about that. And in fact, one of the interesting things and there's not hundreds, thousands of you on here, but I think that'll be interesting, is if you sell with Canada Post, if you use Canada Post, buying is picking up. Oh, that's good for you, Greg. Good. Stuff is selling. But one of the things is if you're Canadian and you use Canada Post, we have seen multiple people post onto the craft group. And we have now experienced this ourselves. Sending a made in China item via Canada Post, because you do not have to, when you buy your postage, even online, if you use Snapship.
Through Snapship. You
can actually not choose to add in the country of origin. And whatever agreement Canada Post has with customs, we just had something and it landed. We sent it a week and a half ago and it landed in Chicago, and then it moved from Chicago down to Dallas.
It cleared customs very quickly.
It cleared customs really, really fast. And let me see if I can find what it was, because I did take a picture of it. It was this. And the thing was, this is a Fujifilm little inflatable blimp, a vintage blimp, and Airship Fuji. And we've had this for a bunch of years as part of a huge camera buy we did with a closing down of a camera store. And we filled it up. We let it sit there for a long time so that it would actually check and see what happens with it. And we put it in the front part of our house, which is cold, in a porch, and it's shrunk. So I thought, damn, there's a hole. But then we brought it back into the house and sort of reinflated, so it's cold air. So we kept it for 2 weeks inflated, so we knew that it inflated. We actually sold this for $59 US. Actually, we'd sold it for 54. We did a buy it now. They offered 45. We split the difference at 52. So, but yeah, that's one of the things that we've found. So if you order something straight there, like out of Canada Post, if you go and do the customs paperwork on the side as well, we confirmed this with Matt Dembski, who's in our group and one of our admins, who also works for Canada Post, is that you can do that and show your QR code. So they pick out the like they print it out for you, but you don't have to say that.
Which
people are saying that even items marked as
weird
made
to
in
not put a
China
code
aren't
in.
being hit. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't going to try. Like it was like, okay, but Andrew, I was not going to try. It's like Rick actually did it, and it said made in China, and I made him redo the postage. So
He made me rebuy the postage without putting in either an HS code or the country of origin. When you're using SnapShip, those are identified as optional fields. So the second label I purchased, I left those fields blank, and it cleared customs quite easily.
I'm going to see here. Lisa had her first ever eBay return, 360. Oh, I think that was the Princess Di thing, right? It might have been. But Charmaine had some big sales. Well, we have one today, actually. Somebody actually bought something today, some Gerber bowls. And I think you guys have actually seen us talk about, there's just yellow Gerber bowls. And we actually had them for sale. And we've sold probably 200 of them because we got them from somebody who worked for Gerber. And I got a message today, an hour and a half ago, saying literally, these are fake. These are counterfeit. I know these are counterfeit. And I just sent them a message. So give me 50% of what I paid back. It's like, excuse me. If you hate them so much, the first thing you're going to say to me is these are fake. $20. That's all it costs. $20. And now you're saying they're fake? Sort of, how dare you send me these things? Yeah, there it is. How dare you send me these fake things for $20? But you were sure damn quick to say, but tell you what, I'll take $10 off. So I just said, no. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but no, we got it from a house for somebody who worked for Gerber. We got a bunch of Gerber stuff from them. So we know it was all legitimate Gerber stuff. And in fact, we couldn't figure out where it was from. So we actually had to find a Gerber listing. And what Rick did, went a little bit out of our way, just in case, because we were shipping these through a cross-border shipper. Rick created a little page that he had that showed somebody else's image of that. And it showed a blue bowl and a green red bowl and a yellow bowl. And it showed made in USA. So he put it together a little thing saying, look, this is made in USA. And we also sold more of our lovely drag queen extravaganza ballerinas.
Eleganza in organza.
Sachet away, my God. And so the thing was, if anybody remembers when we sold one of these, somebody said, oh, my daughter said this looks like a man. So if you ever used to watch Mad TV, it's like Mrs. Swan, you looking like a man. Well, here's the funny thing is we actually wanted to make sure we knew where those are from because there actually wasn't anything on them telling us where they were made. And so we actually found a bunch of listings from Toyo, Japan, which made these ballerina music boxes. And the original ballerinas that are in these boxes are identical to this and have absolutely terrible makeup. So I thought that this was just bad makeup. It's like, no, they're all bad makeup. So, because we're still selling these. I think we still have 2 more left too. And we sell them for $12. So it was just an interesting thing. Oh, it looks like Rick's just said, "Here's our wedding." I won't let me at it, Rick. I got to do that. Here's our wedding.
Ah, yes.
There's our wedding. Oh, so thin and so much hair.
Yeah. There we are.
There we are. There's my mom. Oh, so thin. Anyway. Oh, yes. Elisa told me yesterday that she had somebody who bought a black baby doll, then requested cancellation because she was uncomfortable that the doll was black. And then she repurchased it for $30 more. It's like she said, I didn't know the black doll was black. It's like, yes, blind people can also use eBay. I guess that's the only, we couldn't figure it out. Elisa and I was like, she bought a black baby doll and then said, I don't know, I'm not comfortable with it being a black doll. It's like, I don't know. It's just really weird. Yes. So speaking of babies, we've been doing a lot of going through our little our stuffed animal stuff, and look what I found. Speaking of baby, it's a baby. Hello. Hello. Oh, who's a baby? Look at the cute little baby. Bah.
I want him to dress like that for Halloween.
Baby. Oh. Unfortunately, this is not worth a lot of money. I thought that this would be so cute, but it's not worth any money. I don't know what we paid for it either, but it's not worth any money. So
I think you paid $1.99.
I don't know what we're going to do with it. What?
It was $1.99.
It was $1.99. It's made by Dakin, and it's actually from 1983, Maryland Depew. But unfortunately, it actually is made in Korea. So maybe baby goes on Etsy with a little waving video. It's me.
Are you gonna make little goo goo noises?
Well, Etsy doesn't have sound, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, that's true. It does. It's sort of a combination. Yes, it's the babies from Free to Be You and Me, and you got to be older to get that one, and the Muppets. Kind of both of them. Yes.
And
it's got dimples like it. Yes.
It's got your dimples.
So. But this was plush that we had. And the one thing that's nice about some of the stuff when we're going through it is I'm finding stuff that I thought, oh, this is China, this is China, this is China. I have all these Care Bears. And I thought for sure, oh, God, I'm going to be stuck with all these Care Bears. There's a market. Some people are doing, like, there's a Care Bear group that I'm in, and people are buying them left, right, and center. And then luckily, I found out that it is made in Korea. So all my vintage Care Bears, not the 90s, but the 80s Care Bears. This is Care Bears are from 1980. The Care Bear cousin, 1984, 83, 84. And so I'm actually going to be able to still sell a lot of these. Otherwise, we're putting them into our unit up top at the whatchamacallit. So
the antique mall.
At the antique mall, yeah. Speaking of the antique mall, we just wanted to show, because we're very open with everybody about what we make and things like that. So I just wanted to show you this. We are really happy. Our month ended. Our first full month, the month of May, ended. And for our first full month in the month of May, drum roll please. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I don't have the page there. That would help if I had. Ta-da! We hit $1,000 in sales. Yay! That's $1,000 in net sales. So that's going to be what we get a check for the month of May. And it was interesting too, because we actually were able to look at the stuff and go, okay, what did we sell? That's the nice thing, is our current sales. We can look into our current sales now, and we can take a look at all the different things that we sold and try and figure out. We had the one biggie, which was our Snow White, that sold for nearly $200 of the 1,000. But still, if that wasn't there, we still would have hit $800. Lots of things that we're selling for $5. So that's the one thing that's really interesting to do, is to be able to say, look, this is what, like a bag of buttons. This is like from Baggy Walls. teen magazines. We have like Pokemon cards that aren't worth much. So a lot of these, there's a lot of $5, $10 things like that, $3 items, and every once in a while you'll get to something that's a nice thing. This is a fish decanter with glasses that Rick had. I had a Hello Kitty toy I got in a baggie for $2.99, and I sold the Hello Kitty toy just for $10 on its own. So $8.40 is what I cleared on it. And then what we did also do was we put the last month here. You'll see here we put the last sort of 2 weeks. We took a 12% tax free. So it actually, I think, helped us in getting a little bit further. So yeah, we are quite pleased at that. And we already have, for June, we have already $40 worth of sales for June. So yay! Charmaine, you put your name into 2 different antique malls. Yeah, it's worth the while to potentially try it. So we're going to be flipping things back and forth. We're going to be going to there probably next week to do a restock. And I know Diana and I were talking, and Diana mentioned that she's selling plush. So that's the other thing too, is like we sold like 5 plush items, which we only brought in the beginning of May. So it's like, okay, we're going to put plush back up again. So it's really interesting. It's that.
Elisa wants to know what a go-go is.
Oh, go-go's are crazy bones. They're the little bones you may have seen me talking about. I bought bags and bags of them from a thrift store baggie wall of an exclusive giveaway. And I've sold a bunch of them for $20, $25, but they're made in China. So I put a bunch of them up there just to see if they'll do any good to sell.
We sold one.
We sold one.
We sold one.
Yeah, we put some stuff up there that I thought would go like this, and it hasn't. And now we're looking. There's months I sell 5 to 10 plush. So, 12-month. Ew, I wouldn't want to do a 12-month contract. We had to do a 6-month contract, which was okay. But if you're on the waiting list, that's the biggest start, right? Get on that waiting list. And I think that's the other thing that we always were talking about with this is that they're there. That's the go-go's. When you can at least get ready to start with something like that, you actually hopefully will get yourself thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do with stuff. We're starting to price stuff a little differently. We're going back.
Sorry, I'm mucking around again.
We're starting to price stuff a little differently as well. So that's interesting stuff. So let me take you through some of the things that have sold in the past 3 months. So all this stuff that we've had in the past 3 months has been things that we've had listed on eBay and Etsy, and a couple of things on Facebook. I'm going to show you a couple of things that we looked at as well. Let's see, I got the mall thing out of the way, so I can take that down. And the one thing that drives me crazy before I go into what sold, I'll show you a couple of our Etsy what sold, is I'm so used to grabbing things. So this is something that I literally was like, I was ready to grab this. I walked straight up to it and I was like, oh, this is great. Look at this. Really nice shape. And then there it is. It's a Clydesdale. It's Anheuser-Busch braiding for the parade. And I was like, this is great. 1998. And I thought, okay, what's the price? Is $14.99. I saw this happen to be on a Tuesday, which Rick can now shop because he's 60. He gets his senior discount now. Yay! And I thought this is great. And then what do I see? Made in China. So this would have been about a $12 item that I normally would have picked up. There was no breakage, no nothing on it. They sell for like $59 US. So I could have made 30 or 40 bucks on it on a regular day, but I left it. It was gone the following week. So that's the thing that you have to take a look at. So are we done with Max Sold for now? We're going to be having 1, maybe 2 in June and July. But again, the rates have gone we're not thrilled with them at the moment. They're changing a bunch of things. So we're kind of maybe partially done. I don't know. I don't like the idea of selling stuff for $1 anymore. I mean, we were doing that to get rid of stuff. Lisa's getting ready for a pop-up market. Yeah, I wish we had more of those. I know. I wish we had, Kevin. I wish we had something like antique pop-ups in downtown Toronto. There is one, and I think I'll see if I can find it, Kevin, for you. But I do know it's actually a Kensington market is having a thing called the night market, and you can, I think, get a table for like $50 or something like that in June. So I don't have much more information about that, but I know I have seen that. But there's not a lot. I wish there were more. That's the one thing I wish they had. So again, it was like, darn it, this is gone. And then today, Rick finds this. Look, it's a Harry Potter wand. It's like, okay, Craig, I got a Harry Potter wand. And I said, you do? And I looked at the end of it and I thought, this is a really strange thing on the end of it. And it looked like it was in Chinese. And then I said, are you sure you've got one? And he said, I do. I'm sure I do. And I said, you do, eh? You have a Harry Potter,
a recreation of the famous hand.
Of the famous hand. The famous wand, maybe? And I actually read it first as a creation of the famous hand. That's like, I said, okay, so we'll pass that one up because that creation is of a famous hand is not obviously a universal wand. Now, we have found universal wands before. We have sold wands that you pick up at Universal Studios before. And they can sell for a good amount of money.
Yeah, the ones you get in the actual Disney park, you can use them in Universal, pardon me. You can actually use them throughout the park to trigger experiences at various kiosks around the park.
Oh, you never thought about the night markets. Yeah, the challenge we have, Charmaine, is there's also a couple I've looked at that one is a weird, sort of strange and unusual oddities market, but they're 2 days. And I don't want to do a 2-day market. Sorry, I just don't want to do 2 days because that's not going to work. And I'm looking at him and he's not paying attention. So I'm just going, that's not going to work. He's still not paying any attention. So everybody heard me say, hey, Rick said yes.
To what?
See? Everyone,
I did not consent. Yes. I do not consent. No, I did not.
Huffle? HR Puffin stuff? Yeah, people do still buy a lot of Harry Potter stuff. Well, maybe not so much. Yeah, that's true, but I'm only having 1 day thing. Same as yard sale, 1 day only. Yeah, we were thinking about doing the yard sale. We're going to do that too. So, but let me take you through some of the stuff that we did sell. So on Etsy, we had a couple of sales. One of them, which shocked Rick completely, we were at a thrift store, and I saw this thing, and I thought, I have to pick this up. And he was like, why? I said, no, I honestly, and I did actually look it up when it was there. Let's see if I can get this. I'll do this instead. This was there we go. Rover's Return Inn. Now, the Rover's Return is from Coronation Street. So it's a really cute little thing. There's the Coronation Street logo. It was in really good shape. It's like a cookie jar, pantry jar, something along those lines. And we paid $7.99 for it. And I think, Rick, this was at 50% off.
Yes, it was.
From that store that we were at. It was a thrift store having a clearance of 50% off everything in their store. The only thing we bought. So it only cost me $4. And it was like, I bought it because I thought, okay, there's probably a market for it. I don't know if it's a big market for it, but who the heck would know that we sold it for $215? $215. And
I think it was like 175 US.
175 US, yeah. And it actually went to the States, didn't it, Rick?
Yep.
And this is what surprised me, is I didn't think Coronation Street would have such a big, like, US following or anything like that. And we bought this February.
Yep.
So it was only up like a couple of months at the most. No, like nothing wrong with it.
Given how slow we are to list things, it was probably sitting around for 2 weeks for me to take pictures of. But it sold within
And then the weird thing was, it actually called itself an ornamental teapot, but it's not a teapot. Like, it's just literally like a storage thing. And on the bottom, it says Oriental Teapot. There is a teapot in the line. So I don't know if that's part of the reason it sold for that, but I was okay with that. Holy. Someone's at the thrift shop getting quite unholy. And then we also sold this cute little guy. This is a Jerry Eisner musical rabbit box. And I'm not sure if it's on this or if I have to go to the other place for this, which is
See
so
item
cute.
details.
Huh?
See item details.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. It's what I want to show is this was in here. Oops. And this was just, I showed everybody in the Kennel Club this last week, but this was a lovely little post. Your shop was a fun trip down memory lane, an actual Jerry Bear. Thank you for digging up dogs and preserving such precious pieces, especially this bunny rabbit. Will be quite treasured. Have a wonderful week. And then I love the next piece. Please let us know that most Americans aren't idiotic enough to even contemplate destroying our friendship with Canada. That was even nicer at the end. But yeah, so this little guy, he was up for 73 US. He was on, I think we had him listed for probably, it's about 107 Canadian. We had him probably listed for about 6 months, 7 months.
6 or 7 months, yeah. That's about right.
Yeah. And then we're going to pop over here to show you some of our other things that we sold from eBay. So one of the things that people have a tendency to shy away from is bigger things and older technology in some cases. Well, I happen to find, I think we've had 3 of these, and we put one of these into a max sold, and we got some okay money for it. And then we thought we better try and see if these are worth something else. And they were. We sold, there's a Kodak carousel. And what we did with this is actually a little bit different. We actually went out and purchased, because you see them at thrift stores all the time, we purchased this slide dispenser to go on top of the actual unit so that we could show that it worked. And we actually had this up. Again, this was probably listed for only a couple of months.
Yep.
And we sold that for 125 US plus shipping. And I think shipping was like $35, $40 on this. Wasn't it?
I think we charged 30 US for shipping. So
don't be afraid to think about something big like that too. You saw 3. Well, that's just it. You do see them quite often. It's one of the things that I think some people may just think about passing by. This is a second one we sold, Rick, I think.
Actually, the other one we sold, the guy didn't pay for it because he needed it for
a
family event that weekend. We couldn't ship it to him quickly enough. So we just refunded him.
What's legal and not legal?
Pot. Somebody found pot in a cookie jar.
Oh. I thought trays aren't legal. I wouldn't be surprised so much stuff that's not legal in Florida. Yeah, sometimes at auctions too. So again, it's heavy, but you can check them out. There's some that sell for a lot less, but this one was in great shape. And again, flipping for
I did a video showing that it worked as well.
Yeah, there's Rick's video. Let's see if I can get that to work.
Does it work or no?
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to get it to. I don't know if the video will work now. No, in the closed listing, it doesn't.
Okay.
So I can't show you it, but we did show it working. It was an interesting thing. Let me pop something else on here. So this is something that actually sold just recently. Again,
going to throw it away.
Don't throw anything away, because we almost threw this away. Because wouldn't you want to throw this away? Because you know what? It's a Mickey Mouse mask.
With no ears.
No ears. The ears have been
it's
broken
Mickey
off.
Van Gogh ×2.
And it's not, you can see, this is like cracked, chipped. There's the inside of it. Tape everywhere. Staples. Made in France. So I thought, you know what? What the heck? That's the back of it, which is even more scary. What the heck? Let's just list this no-eared Mickey. We just sold it for $20. It sold June 1st. So it literally just sold for $20. So it actually has been being mailed off today. It's kind of creepy. It is kind of creepy. But the thing was, the reason why I decided to sell it was, even though it was broken, again, because we always talk about just because something's broken or chipped or something like that, somebody might want it. And so because this was a made in France, Walt Disney Productions, so it's before 1986, because that's when Walt Disney Productions, anything that says Walt Disney Productions was manufactured between 1930 and 1986, you don't know how old it's good. Probably 70s, could be 50s even. But again, no ears, and we still sold it for $20. So
yeah, the ears were cardboard, paper cardboard. So whoever receives it might want to restore the ears just by cutting out pieces of cardboard and
yeah, just like Rick. So
forgive me in my old age.
In the same vein, sometimes you see stuff that you're not sure if it's complete or not. So here's another thing that we ended up selling. Again, that's probably going to surprise some of you. This was a motorcycle, but it was just the top. This is made in Japan. The decals were intact, but I looked at it and there's something obviously missing from here. Right? There's a piece missing from there. You can tell. I think it might be this piece that fell down here, but I can't really tell for sure. There's pieces on here. There are no instructions. There's a couple of white things in this bag. And then that is all over the place. Like what has fallen out of here from wherever. It is supposed to be a motorcycle. This is what it's supposed to look like. There's no tires anywhere. And so what I did find out, though, was this particular motorcycle in the box can sell for $200. And I thought, $200? Okay, I'm going to put this on for just what it is. I don't know what this is. And we sold it for $45.
We did get a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Are the instructions included?
Yeah.
Nope.
Are the instructions included? No.
Nope.
Is it complete? No. Like, we just answered them. And again, $45. That was a $2 or a $3.99 baggie wall purchase that I grabbed because I saw, oh, it's a model. And the reason I mainly grabbed it, very simply, was when I saw those decals, I thought at the end of the day, I can make my money back just on those decals alone that we see in that picture there. So, but just again, it was just another thing you may not think. Yeah, that's Doug barking away. Yes, that is true. Tamiya is a really good be on the lookout brand, wolf brand. Watch out for. So if you can ever find Tamiya, let me just see if I can. It was on here. Okay, come on, reload you. Let's see if I can get back to this again. There we go. There we go. Oh, there, that's got it for you. So you can see right there. Just pop it in there. I'm just trying to get that Tamiya plastic model. You can see the name up there. See what else we got here. I showed that. This is something that I just don't. Sometimes I don't understand why things sell, so this is something that actually, we actually bought 2 summers ago. Didn't cost anything. It cost like $2 at a garage sale, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. It is a brand new.
Was this from Jan up the street?
No, this was upstate New York.
Okay.
And this is like brand new, unused. They might look a little used, but no, I'm pretty sure they weren't used.
No, they weren't.
Shoals, exercise sandals, and it took. I saw a lot of them selling for well over $100. This took us almost a year to sell. We finally got. I think we ended up selling it for $75, Rick.
It was $75 on offer, yeah.
We did an offer out for $75. Well, that's just it. They're so popular. And again, because they were still in the box and they didn't look used, it was like, oh, okay, this is going to be really good. We got good positive feedback on it. Susan, I had a pair of those today. Lisa, I still have my souls. I should list. They're dark blue. Yeah, just it might take a little longer to sell. It took a lot longer for me than I thought that it would be.
Take pictures with them on your feet.
No, I don't want to take pictures of them on my feet. We did not get that request. Although some people will get. If your name makes it sound like you might be a woman, they may want to see a picture of them on your feet.
Show us your hairy toes.
I don't want to show the hairy toes. No, I don't. This is another thing that we ended up selling in the month, which was I had this in box. It was downstairs for God knows how long. I honestly don't remember how long that we had it downstairs. And this was a Buzz Lightyear. And again, it looked like it had never been out of the box, but the box was really bad shape. Like that's the box. But because it was
missing a piece,
it was in really bad shape, and it was missing one piece.
I noticed as I was taking pictures, you thought it was still sealed in the box.
Yeah.
And I took it out of the box to take the pictures and showed you, hey, there's a scratch here. And
oh yeah, so somebody had played with it.
Piece.
But we did try it out. We did put get it working. And again, Rick did a great video of it there, which you can see. You can't hear, but when we did it there. So, and in the video, you've got it pressing it, so the back pop, seeing how people can hear it, that sort of thing. So he was really good at that sort of thing, and we managed to sell that. I did take an offer on that, or send an offer out on that for I think 65. So again, another thing that's like, even if it's an older thing like that, it's maybe something you want to think about. Make sure you got batteries. Make sure you test those batteries. Rick, there's that thing that we just bought today that you want to see if Doug needs to go out and grab that thing that we put the batteries in. So it's always keeping an eye. Either how do I get the Two Dogs Digs into your videos? Let me see. This thing that he's got here. I think Rick does that after the fact on the Apple computer. I'm guessing. We'll have to ask him about that. Elisa said, I listed a full leather dress, bouche corset dress with lacy and hooks. Can you model it? Message galore. Brian said, we sold a used Buzz Lightyear last year for 30. Yeah. And actually, we sold a couple of, this is one of the things that we found, and I think we're seeing with the plush. We've sold more in the pop culture and toy side of things at our antique mall than we have in the decorative and antique thing. So, again, it's sort of where I think our focus may be moving, and at least in the antique mall side, especially when we may have a lot of things that could be made in China that we don't want to necessarily risk too much on. This was another thing, and this actually just sold over the weekend. And had this, I think it was listed for about a year, maybe. And we did list it on Etsy and eBay. And this was a zigzag sewing machine. And I know I bought it for $7 at a garage sale. And I just thought it was cute. And here's Rick again. He managed to do this. So we want to show that it works. So we plugged it in so that it works. So that people can actually go, oh, okay, I see it's working. And again, that's, I think, one of the things that you really want to try and do with these things. You keep doing with these is you want to make sure people can think about them and see them working so that they know. And this was brand spanking new. So this was bought obviously as a gift for someone. And then it ended up somewhere in somebody's attic. And we managed to sell it for $75 plus shipping, and we didn't even make an offer.
It did have the obi or the paper outside wrapper for the box.
Yeah. Now Tina asked a question, Rick, you weren't up for here, and of course it's now that I'm trying to do it. How did you get the Two Dogs Digs logo?
Oh, I use Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
So I import the video into Final Cut Pro. I've got that as a preset and just re-export it back out.
And to me, what Rick just said is
gobbly gobbly goo goo wah 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 wah.
I don't know what
if you've got Windows, you should be able to use Windows Media or Video Movie Player.
Or if you've got Rick, you just use Rick. You just have to be prepared that it may take you 2.5 months to get a video about something. I mean, I'm in trouble now.
Okay.
What did you say? Today we actually did find something, and we're always looking for, in Canada, and this is really big, in Canada, you always try and look for things that are in the Hello Kitty line and things like that. We talked about that in the plush line. This was something that we found, which was really cute, but it was $10.99, and I said to Rick, okay, 30% off day. So with 30% off, you want to risk this because it'd be $8. Now, the last thing we found that was at a thing at this exact same place was a tiny little tin jewelry box that we bought for, I think, $3.99, and we sold that for $200.
Yep.
And this is Pacheco, but we got it home, and Rick was like, okay, now you can see the second hand going, so you know it's working. But Rick put batteries in, and all that we could have happen with the batteries put in is the one little green guy on the one side was spinning around, and there was some music playing. And Rick went, give me new batteries. So I gave him new batteries, and I gave him more new batteries. He handed it to me. I said, let me see this. And I looked at it, and I literally went slam on the table, and the second hand started working. So...
It's so cute.
Now, I don't know what sound isn't coming through, but it is coming through normally. So
Because I'm holding it behind the speaker.
We are probably.
And I can't get this to stop, so take me off screen. I'll take it back upstairs.
It doesn't stop. We're not sure how to make it stop. That's the one thing. I guess we got it testing, and I was like, yeah, it's one of those like, yeah, those it is the computerized music kind of thing. So we're probably going to list it about $200 and see what happens. It is vintage. We've only found that one on a Japanese website, and I can't remember. I think they wanted $350 US for it. So we'll see. It was worth the risk. Sometimes you got to take that extra risk on stuff, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you end up with shoes that you stick around with for a lot longer than you thought would stick around. We have found a few other things over time as well that we've been looking at, and the most recent one was a Facebook buy that I have to show you, and I'm not going to able to show you all of it because I didn't actually. Well, we might actually auction it first, starting at $195, and see if it goes higher than that.
I found two listed in Japan. One was 3,800 Hong Kong dollars. The other was 9,800 Hong Kong dollars.
Yeah.
Those are both local pickup in
I don't
Hong
recognize
Kong.
you. Welcome to the channel. We're here every 2 weeks. If you're kind of enjoying the back, you'll see us again. So
yes, we take the price tag off.
If you subscribe to it, yeah, we take the price tag off. We'll do a video with it showing it working with the sound. So that'll be on there. And then we will we'll take the batteries out and sell it without the batteries, because it actually takes 2 D batteries, big heavy D batteries. So to make it lighter, but people will be able to see it work. Yeah, Susan, I have seen those Peanuts one like that. Mine turned off when the lights in the room were turned off. All I care about is that it works now, and if it doesn't shut up for somebody else, it'll be like a Furby from hell, so they can deal with the Furby from hell on their side.
I just did a conversion for 9,800 Hong Kong dollars to Canadian dollars.
Huh?
I just did a conversion of the $9,800 Hong Kong dollars to Canadian.
Yeah.
$1,700 Canadian.
No.
Yes.
We have one that farts on the hour too. His name is Doug. No. I will show you something again. Two things I'm going to show you now. So hopefully you've got a few things that you may think about that you hadn't thought about before. Is look at things like those slide projectors and stuff like that, especially if you're at some of those local auctions or at your Goodwill or something like that. But remember, you need to do it with the tray. The tray does not add a lot of money or weight to it, so it's really good to be able to show it. and show that the tray can actually move around. If you ever find a tray with extra slides, grab the extra slides. And that way you've got slides you can test and show someone how it's actually really working. So that's a really good thing for it. So I'm going to show you two other things that are recent buys for us, and then we'll go, because I'm not sure what we're going to do with two of these things. But I was lucky enough, last Tuesday, I went into a store, and I'm a big doll and toy thing. I know that I'm turning stuff over constantly now and seeing that it's made in China, and I'm trying to stay away from all of those. But I did pick this up because I couldn't pass this up. I don't know if anybody's going to recognize this was in a baggie wall. And again, for somebody like me, you look at something and the immediate thing I saw on this was I saw the outfit and the shoes. The shoes are what actually made me grab this. This is actually, in a closer look, you'll actually see, here she is. This is, I think, Tiffany Taylor or Tuesday Taylor. And it is a doll that actually, I don't know who this is. This is just a regular old Barbie doll. But this is Tiffany or Tuesday Taylor. She's in her original bathing suit. And she's the doll that actually is just so weird because her scalp turns around. So you can turn her head around and make her a blonde when her hair is down. So it doesn't make any sense at all when her hair is up. So this is her. There she is. There she's a blonde. Here it is. There she's a blonde. And then turn her scalp around, scalp her, and there she's a brunette. But this is actually all original shoes and original clothing. So this is probably could be a $30 or $40 doll. And I got her for $4. And again, the reason I got her was because of the shoes and the dress, because I know people aren't going to be able to find those anywhere. This is probably some Barbie that's worth maybe $10. And then today, I see at the very bottom, I see this baggie, and the first thing I see is the outfit, and I go and lift it up, and it's, I don't know if anybody reckons, for $4.99. It is Wonder Woman. And I was like, oh my God, Wonder Woman for $4.99. Yay. And then I grabbed her, and it's like Wonder Woman without her feet. So it's like interesting, but I bought it anyway. Again, $4.99, less the 30%. And I bought it because it doesn't so much matter. This is I get to have a Wonder Woman outfit that I can sell to somebody who has a naked Wonder Woman. I'm just going to show you. I believe this is the doll that has the painted outfit underneath. Or no, she's not. She's the naked one. So there's some of these that actually have the
Wonder Woman draw.
Oh no, she's got it on. She's got it on. I'm just trying to get her. Just trying to strip a doll for you live. Strip me down. This is not an OnlyFans. It's like a bad OnlyFans show for dolls. Elbow, come on. Boom, boom. Oh my God, her dress is tight. And I've never said that before in my life. Here, all I can get to is to that. There you go. She's got her Wonder Woman body there. It's not that kind of a show. Well, so again, I'm actually going to be able to sell this for more. Tonight's musical interlude is brought to you by girls who twitch their head around, girls who don't have feet.
Yeah, somebody sold the shoes from the Tuesday or Tiffany Taylor for $14 Canadian.
And then this is another Barbie. It's actually a busy Barbie. Unfortunately, she's gotten so busy, she lost that arm. So I've got, don't worry, she's harmless, she is. Sorry, I had to do it. But I think the head might be something that could be used by somebody, and who knows about the rest of her. And she is actually made in Japan, which the vintage Barbies are, not this. So I went back to try and find more, and I couldn't find any more. And last but not least, I'm not actually, no, they were in bags. So I couldn't, well, that's a little smelly. I couldn't. Baby doesn't smell. Baby doesn't smell.
That's Shark Bite Barbie.
Yeah, this is Shark Bite Barbie. Baby shark. Ow! Okay, I think I'm going crazy now. We actually, We actually sell parts of Barbies, especially the vintage ones. Not so much the 80s and 90s, but the 60s dolls. We sell arms, we sell legs, we sell torsos, we sell heads. And some of the bodies alone could be $50, $60, $75 or more. Not ones that are missing an arm, though. Like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this.
But it depends how the rest of the torso is. If it's
We've sold other doll parts too. Yes, a whole new world of selling doll pieces. We've taken apart Patty Play Pal dolls and sold the neck spring for $30. We've sold a head. We sold a left arm and a right arm and then a leg and another leg because people actually will buy the pieces to fix their own Patty Play Pal dolls. So yeah, it's interesting. But if you ever get a doll, like, I will sell this. I bet you if I take this outfit off, I'm going to sell the outfit on, I will still be able to get at least $10 for this because somebody won't care. They'll put boots on her so you won't see it because the boots are actually cover up the feet, and they'll still be able to display her. And from the looks of it, she's got great eyelashes, Bigfoot lashes. And when I finally get her half undressed, she probably has a really great painted body. Because the thing about these girls were, yeah, so she's still got really good paint there, so you could display her properly. I'm Diana Prince. I'm back. Oh, never mind. So the last thing I'm going to say is this weird thing that I saw on Facebook Marketplace, and I thought, oh, this is great. This is perfect. This is perfect for us to get so that we can actually put it in our booth. And it was a...
My eyes still hurt from rolling back up in my head.
It was a...
Actually, I said
yeah. Rotating watch display. Now, the only thing about this rotating watch display was it had actually been taken and somebody had turned it into a Christmas decoration. And so I still said to Rick, oh, let's go buy it. So here it is. This is a rotating watch display. It is 3 feet tall. And we get it home. And this is what we get. This is the watch display. You can see it turns around. All the things are turning around on it on the post. Not only that, but there's a little guy down at the bottom on the ice thing that spins around, and the guy who's at the front entrance goes in and out, and there's another little thing that pops up and down, and it's like the little penguin that's popping up and down. So this thing that I end up picking up going, oh, isn't this cute? Well, this big thing, well, it wasn't just one. There were 2. This is the second one, and I don't have a video of this one done yet. It even came complete with a big green wooden case around it. And this turns around. It has 3 different scenes that are on here. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, okay. And the woman wanted $20 each Canadian, $15 US for each one of them. And she told me that her husband actually made these, and they used to take them around every Christmas
to schools,
and the
children's hospitals,
churches and children's hospitals, and all sorts of stuff like that, so that they could be displayed for years and years. So her husband actually repurposed these into this. And I didn't really look at them really quickly. And I just asked her if they worked. Yeah, the amount of work that he put into that is ridiculous. Yeah, Bob, exactly. It's like, well, we're debating that. I put it in a Christmas Facebook group, and I've had so many, oh my God, sell it to me, I want it. And I don't know what we're going to do with them, because there is no way I'm going to spend all my time taking that. I don't need another project, but to take all this apart just so I could actually put it together as a display at our thing. Now, Rick immediately turned this green one on and went, okay, $200 at the Christmas booth. So, it may very well end up at our booth for Christmas for $200. So, but that's just it. You never know. And the thing is, I wasn't looking for Christmas. I wasn't looking for anything. I literally just popped on and thought, oh, what's on Facebook Marketplace. And that happened to be the number 3 thing in my feed, and it had only been put up 2 hours earlier. So literally, Rick and I
drove 2 hours there.
No, it wasn't 2 hours. It was 25 minutes there and 25 minutes back.
Okay. It was 2 hours to get the other things we bought.
Yeah, it was 2 hours to get the other things we bought. So, but yeah, you never know what you can find when you're looking on Facebook Marketplace. So keep your eyes open there. I also bought a big bunch of people. Some lady was getting rid of a whole bunch of Ever After High dolls, and it was $40. And I just said, yes, please. And I grabbed them. A third of them have their necks broken, but the other ones don't. But the third that have their necks broken still have the complete original outfit. So I'm going to probably try and sell those outfits, I think, but I might end up putting those in a max sold. So you never know what you can find when you're out there. But again, with that in mind, you never know what you can sell. So keep in mind, if you're in Canada, keep in mind that Canada Post is still allowing you to sell stuff. Yeah, like Lisa bought that bin of 88 vintage cookbooks for $30. 34 cents each. We bought those Go-Go's for, I think there were 20 in a bag or something like that, for $3. And I sold a bunch of them already for 80 to over $200, I think. And this is just extras we got. So you can always find stuff like that. If you find it, take a risk on it, like we did with that Sanrio thing. I just didn't have any big batteries in the car, or I would have gone out to the car and brought the batteries back in.
It was so funny when he slammed the clock down and it started working.
You know, he started laughing when I slammed it down and it started working. So
he's my Fonzie.
Yeah, he called me Fonzie. Isn't that special? I'm Fonzie.
Now, kids, there used to be a show on TV.
Oh, for the young people?
Yes. What was it called again? Happy Days.
Whatchamacallit, remember? Find it on our couch. We have a Fonzie pillow.
Oh, we do.
And a John Travolta Welcome Back Kotter pillow.
Vinny Barbarino.
So, I'm sorry. I'm just finishing undressing Diana Prince myself here. So, hopefully,
what you're going to do for the rest of the night.
To look for, and you had a little bit of fun with us tonight. Now to list them all, yes, all of your books and everything, and all of the stuff that we've got. And now I guess I got to get Rick and the baby. We got to feed the baby. No, actually, I have to feed Rick though. Feed the baby. Thanks so much for joining us here. All of you who are in the Kennel Club, thanks so much for being supporters of ours. If you are in the Kennel Club, remember every other Tuesday, not next week, you'll see us do a Kennel Club chat, where we just chat about all sorts of different things. Doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with reselling, but we chat about all sorts of different things. Yay! And we can see you all there. So thanks to everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Keep selling. And for those of you who haven't listed or have your store closed, think about opening that store again, just for a little time. You never know what you're going to. And congratulations to all of you like Louette, who had really long relationships like us. It's hard to imagine in today's world that people can do it. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there who can. We happen to be one of them. And then finally, for everybody, again, a little reminder. Happy Pride Month. Yay! Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, kids.